Greetings everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Spirit of Justice. We are in the middle of talking with Simon and his testimony about what he saw at the Rakugo Theater. So let us now begin the cross-examination. I can press things.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what did you go to the theater for in the first place?
I went because I had received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, see for yourself. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Huendo's promotion. It was also an occasion to announce the boy's succession to the stage name of Huendo II.
So what exactly does it mean to succeed to a stage name?
You really don't know, do you? In the performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits a predecessor's name.
I see. So there was another Unedo Rakugo artist before, and this disciple succeeded him, huh? Uendo?
I'm gonna say Uendo.
And what exactly did your invitation say?
It contained a simple letter of salutations and an outline of the show's program.
Oh! It appears Taifu Tornado was going to perform Toki Soba, or Time Soba. He's famous for his masterful pantomime of eating soba using only his fan as a prop. And Uendo was to perform Sobe-sei, or Soba Glutton, a soba-themed show, I see.
It seems you know a thing or two about Rakugo yourself, your baldness.
Well, someone has to know to explain the American audience, or, the international audience.
The first to perform was the senior disciple, Geiru, followed by Uendo. And lastly, Master Tornado.
Thank you for the invitation.
I see. So that's why you happened to be at the Storytellers Theater yesterday. So what happened after you arrived? And how did Master Tornado appear when you said hello to him?
I went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately, we didn't actually meet.
You didn't see him? Why not?
Geiru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done.
You heard Rakugo being performed in the dressing room?
Yes, not just me, but Geiru as well.
In other words, you can confirm that the victim was still alive at around 4 p.m. Okay, but did you see him?
Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I'm sure it was Master Tornado.
Did you see him?
I could tell because it was the time soba routine being performed in there.
So that means the victim was killed sometime after that. Please tell us in detail how Mr. Wet appeared at the time.
Geiru and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Tornado to finish practicing, when Bucky appeared and entered the dressing room with his things.
What happened after that?
We heard what sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came back out of the dressing room looking rather irate.
This is most likely when the murder was committed. The victim was an elderly man. It would have been entirely possible to kill him within the span of 10 minutes.
Ugh. I'd better come up with some kind of counter-argument and fast. What did you mean by apparently? Didn't you see him go in?
No, I couldn't. I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing at the time. But Geiru was right in front of it, so I'm sure she saw it all.
I see. And why do you suppose Uendo went to the dressing room anyway?
He had just finished his routine, so he was making a courtesy call. The disciples to pay their master respect right before and after each performance.
And all disciples are expected to do this?
Yes, it's common courtesy among Rakugo artists.
I see. Could you tell us what happened after Uendo went into the dressing room?
Certainly.
And how did Uendo act at the time?
After Uendo had been in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes, we heard a scream from inside the room, and Uendo came flying out.
Did you hear any signs of a struggle at the time?
No, just Uendo's woeful scream.
I see.
Well done, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your testimony has given us quite a glimpse into the sequence of events.
Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. And now, please allow me to summarize your testimony. While Prosecutor Blackwell and Gira were in the hallway waiting for Master Tornado, the accused came along and entered the dressing room with some items in tow. He was heard shouting for a time inside the dressing room, and about 10 minutes later he came back out of the room, seeming rather angry.
Jeez. These little bouncing dots.
A short time after the accused had come and gone, Uendo Tornado went into the room. A few minutes later, after having discovered the victim's body, Uendo gave a scream and came running out into the hallway from within. Prosecutor Blackwell and Giru then ran into the room and saw the body for themselves. From the circumstances, it is quite clear that the accused murdered the victim.
This is crucial testimony indeed.
Defense. An eyewitness has given conclusive testimony. Why not let it go now and allow the victim his last rites? Not on your life! If Uendo went into the dressing room too and was the first to discover the body, then who's to say he didn't commit the crime? Uendo was in the dressing room for a mere 2, perhaps 3 minutes. He could not have possibly committed murder in that time, nor without making any noise. Oh, Simon, why did you have to give that awful testimony? Prosecutor Blackwell, can't you give me something a little better to work with here?
Isn't it up to you to ask the right questions?
Oh, snap.
I am certainly willing to tell you all that I know. So, if you truly are as capable as you claim, then draw out what you need yourself.
This is no time for your twisted games, Prosecutor Blackwell. Just admit you don't remember it all that well.
Okay. Those kind of comments are why they treat you like a kid, Athena.
Prosecutor Blackwell, watching you collude with the defense like this, I see that you are no prosecutor. Begone, witness. You shall haunt this sacred hall no more.
How dare you treat me like some evil spirit to be exorcised? I'll remember this, you blackguard.
Oh! Don't cross Blackwell, Noyuta. Just don't.
Don't worry, Prosecutor Blackwell. I've got this. Would I have my way, he would not be the only one here to step down. You, half-boiled, putrid egg yolk. Ew, I object to the notion that I'm a gooey, smelly mess. Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony was like the lowly opening act of a Rakugo show. He may hold the title of prosecutor, but this time, he stood on the side of the defense. To restore balance to this trial, I would like to present an actual witness for the prosecution.
And who is this witness?
The person who was with Prosecutor Blackwell when the body was discovered. She is another entertainer of the Tornado School, Miss Giru Tornado. Geru. Her pun name is Gale Tornado, I believe. Geru. Geru. Oh god, what is this outfit? Please state your name and occupation, witness.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to represent Tornado School with a twisty twist.
Oh lord.
And balloon! There you have it, a stunning balloon hat. It's me, the balloon artist you all know and love, Geru Tornado. Just call me Geru, sweetie. 1, 2, blue!
Oh god, What? What a way to capture your audience's attention! I dare say I can't take my eyes off those balloons. Oh my god, I can't. No, I can't. I can't. Oh!
Please tell me you're talking about the hat, Your Honor. Oh, Mr. Judgy, I'm so glad you liked my performance. Would you consider joining my fan club? Pretty please?
Oh, absolutely! Please stop.
And please save your fanboying for after the trial, Your Honor.
Lord.
Anyway, Geru, I can't help but notice you seem awfully cheerful for having just lost your master. Of course I'm sad, but Shisho would scold me if I didn't put on a big smile. Never show sadness. Smile, smile, smile with a twist, twist, twist. Twisty, twist, twist.
Does that cake have eyes?
And bloom! There you have it. One gorgeous cake. I see. I guess an entertainer's gotta do what an entertainer's gotta do.
I mean, look at Phoenix Wright.
Her balloon art's worse than a Rorschach test. All I saw was a severed monster head. Geru, you're obviously a balloon artist. So how did you come to be a member of the Rakugo school? Well, my late father that is, was a Rakugo artist, you see. So I joined the Tornado School to be just like my daddy someday. I see. My father and I owe so much to Shisho, our master, but that Bucky wet. Ooh, how could he? I wanted to see him pay for what he's done as quickly as possible.
Your distress is entirely understandable, and my condolences for your loss.
And not only that, but You have more to say, Mr. Wet? About Mr. Wet? Every time he comes to deliver soba to us, he yells at me. He always tells me to get away. Is there any reason why he would say such a thing to you? He says the smell of my perfume will get into his soba and ruin it. Like, how can he say that? This is a great scent.
It's a balloon scent. How very rude of him. I don't blame you for being upset. Oh my god, Judge, the balloons are talking to you.
Excuse me, Your Honor, but please don't let Geru's balloon bias your judgment. Mr. Wet hasn't been proven guilty yet, remember?
It will be interesting to see how long that fire of yours will last, defense. Now then, Geru, please share the truth with this court. Yes, Geru, your testimony, please. Can't find a voice for Geru, but she seems like a bouncy type, and I already have to deal with Athena, who's also really bouncy. Before the murder was discovered. Oh, I just realized what I just said, and what I'm doing. Help.
From 4 p.m. to a little after 4:20 p.m. when Shishio's body was found, Simon and I were standing in the hallway in front of the dressing room. Before Uendo discovered the body, the only person who had gone in there was Bucky. Come to think of it, a little while before Bucky showed up, Jigemu was barking like mad.
Jugemu. Come on, I just came out of DGS and I'm already having trouble with these words. Prosecutor Blackwell, do you have any objections to this witness's testimony?
No. Make up your bloody mind, sad monk Sadamadi. First you exorcise me, now this.
Sad monk Samadhi? You need only do as you are instructed by this humble servant of the Holy Mother. As there are no objections, Your Honor, let us move on to the salvation of the victim's soul.
No, I have a right to cross-examination.
Hey, I'm the defense attorney here, Prosecutor Submahi. And I just might have an objection or two once I actually cross-examine the witness. So what are you asking Prosecutor Blackwell for? I'm the one you should be checking with.
There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Khurainism. If there's going to be a lot of Khurain words, I'm going to die. To stir the wind is beyond the power of a spring chick. In other words, the inexperienced are useless. With that in mind, it seemed more judicious to consult Prosecutor Blackwell.
He doesn't even see you as an adversary, Sykes Tono.
Whose side are you on, Blackwell?
Well, I won't let either one of you insult me. I'll show you I'm no inexperienced spring chick. Your Honor, I'm ready to cross-examine the witness.
I hope you can make Prosecutor Samai see you as a worthy adversary, Miss Sykes. I'll allow your cross-examination, so you better strike while the iron is hot. I'm shaking my head about this whole thing. Oh, that cake is scaring me just a little bit. It's like something... Ugh. Okay.
So the murder must have happened sometime in those 20 minutes, correct? But 20 minutes isn't a lot of time, is it? I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say? That's what happened, you know? Isn't that right, Simon?
Yes. Kato and I can both confirm that Master Tornado still lived at around 4
Okay,
p.m.
but you guys didn't go in and actually checked, right? You just heard stuff.
Oh yeah, you can, can't you? See? The fact that the two of you were there in front of the dressing room means you were able to see everyone who went in and out, right? Of course. Or are you insinuating that I was daydreaming or sleeping while standing up or something? No, of course not. I saw everything, I tell you. Oh, fine. So you say anyway, but did you really? Only the defendant Uendo entered around the time of the murder? That's right. That's why it must have been Bucky who killed poor Shisho. Shisho? Let's take a deep breath, okay, Geru? Not a single other person set foot into the dressing room during that time? I already told you over and over, didn't I? There was nobody else.
I must apologize on the Lori's behalf. Even her memory is that of a spring chick's. Please overlook her transgression as best you can.
Oh, I see. Poor thing. Hang in there, sweetie. Hey, who are you calling a bird brain, buddy? Jugemu? That's my doggy. I keep him out at the theater. Let's see. With the twisty twist. And bloom! There you have it, my cute little Jiggy-Moo.
Oh, I don't like the way it's looking at me. That looks like something straight out of Five Nights at Freddy.
He's kinda creepy looking. Oh, but he's a really, really good boy. And why was Jugamoo barking? Jugamoo? Do you think it's because he saw someone suspicious? If so, then we'd have a new suspect in this case. Now why was he barking again? Oh, I remember, because it was time for me to feed him. So I went into his yard and gave him some food. Couldn't somebody have slipped into the dressing room while you were doing that? Nope, the door out into the yard was wide open. I would have seen if anybody went into the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackwell, come down to the stand for a sec, please.
How many times must I do this?
You saw what Garo was talking about, right? So why didn't you mention it before?
I can't be expected to remember every minute detail.
Well, remember them now, please. Did Garo go out into the yard?
Yes, and remember now that she went to feed Jugemu.
Holy shit, that's a lot of food she's giving him.
And I saw her looking towards the dressing room quite frequently as well.
Do you recall anything else?
It looked as though she were feeding the dog a great quantity of dumplings or something. Jugemu couldn't finish them all, so he buried the rest in a corner of the yard. That's about all I can remember.
Updated statement.
It looks like Garo was telling the truth. Your Honor, I'd like Garo's last statement added to her testimony.
As you wish, defense.
I was in the yard, but the door was wide open so I could keep watch on the dressing room. You know what this means, right, Garo? You weren't in the hallway the entire time after all, weren't you? Well, okay, so I did go out into the yard, but it was just for a second. And that yard door was wide open, so I could still see the dressing room the whole time.
I could think you can only see the entrance of the dressing room.
The door was open, so she could still see the dressing room? Prosecutor Blackwell, I need you on the stand again, please!
You might as well just stay on the stand.
What am I, your lady in waiting?
Do you remember anything about the time Garo was in the yard?
Simply that Jugemu buried the food he couldn't finish in a corner of the yard. That's about all I can remember.
Thank you. I didn't really need to hear about the dog again, though. When I finished feeding Jugemu, I returned to the hallway. And then I saw Bucky go into the dressing room. No question about it. Okay, so around the time of the murder, Garo and Simon were hanging out just outside the dressing room. Guess I'm gonna have to find a flaw in there somehow if I want to get anywhere.
Alright, we're gonna try and do that now. We're going to the fourth statement, the new updated statement, and present the diagram. Let me present. Okay, we're gonna present the diagram of the backstage.
So, you were able to keep an eye on the dressing room while you were out in the yard. Is that correct? That's right. The door out into the yard was wide open. Sorry, but that makes zero sense. Take a look at this diagram of the backstage area. There's a clear contradiction between this diagram and the witness's testimony.
Oh? I'm afraid I don't understand, Miss Sykes.
Please point out...
Please point out what contradiction the witness is Please point out what contradicts the witness's testimony. Okay, well, this door here does not open towards the dressing room.
Garo was in the yard near the doghouse. Prosecutor Blackwell even saw her there. And while she was out there, the door to the yard had been left open.
Oh, I see.
Yes, if the door to the yard was wide open, as Garo said,
no way she could have seen it.
It would have blocked her view, making it impossible for her to see the dressing room. What? No way!
Where the fuck did she get that balloon? But even if there was admittedly a few moments Garo was not keeping watch, how much would that really affect this case?
It would greatly affect this case. From the spot Prosecutor Blackwell stood, he couldn't see the dressing room door either. Anyone could have entered the dressing room during that time without being seen. Ah! Garu, why did you try to hide the fact that you weren't watching the dressing room? What?
You know, there's a little fun fact about that double slapping a thing. So, she was intended to do the double slap, the double death slam back in Dual Destinies, but I think there was an issue in implementing it, or they must have forgotten it, but it was originally intended for her to do a double slap table slam, which, I don't know, I think that seems kind of awkward for her.
Hide the fact? You speak as though you think she had something to do with the murder. Rather than deliberate deception, it was more likely a simple oversight. Right, witness?
You know, to be honest, she seems really fishy, especially when Blackquill was saying she was really looking into that dressing room, like, extremely. And why was she feeding the dog so much dumplings? Like,
Well, I was so shocked by what happened. I was just confused, that's all. Even though she is trying to keep up a brave front as an entertainer. The truth is that she is being torn apart by grief. For her mind to be in turmoil is hardly unexpected.
Yes, it must be very difficult indeed.
To a disciple, one's master is akin to a real parent. Surely her shock is immense. The way this lord tries to pin the blame on this poor soul at the first opportunity. All I can say is, defense attorneys are heartless creatures indeed. But that wasn't what I was trying to do. Is it beyond your comprehension, defense? Your unskilled argument is scarring this witness even further. Oh, shut up! And if we ask the people of this courtroom, I'm sure they would agree. What? The gallery doesn't get a say in this? Are you afraid to find out that they think ill of you? Or that perhaps you are in the wrong? Listen to them now with that keen sense of hearing you are so proud of.
He's right. That was harsh. She didn't have to go that far. I feel kind of sorry for the witness. And why is Dolores' outfit so yellow?
No, I was just trying to find the truth. Why is the whole gallery siding with Prosecutor Samahi?
That's what I'm wondering about too.
The people understand. They know what is right and what is wrong.
That lawyer is still in training, isn't she? Why is she all by herself?
I hear the voices of the gallery. I can hear the voices of their hearts. It's so intense. I feel so alone up here fighting by myself.
Are you afraid, child? Okay, this is straight up bullying at this point. Like, holy shit, let her do her job.
It is ludicrous to come to trial with such paltry preparation of the soul. I command you to leave this courtroom at once. But I can't give up. I have to keep pressing on. No! As long as there was a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door. The defendant can't be convicted solely on Prosecutor Blackquill and Garrow's testimonies. Even now you would continue to resist. You are childish in defeat as well, I see. I'm not out for the count yet, Buster. I'm just getting started. Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? With but a little push, you would surely succumb to despair.
Oh my god, we got the message. Back off. You see what I mean? They constantly, just drill it into Athena through this entire case about how useless she is. It's kind of overbearing after a while.
A little push, such as with this piece of conclusive evidence. Conclusive evidence, huh? That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. The victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Wet. Look at these Japanese playing cards, known as Karuta, lined up on the table. These special English version Karuta cards spell out a message. That message, wet number 4. Wet number 4? You mean wet noodle number 4? Yes, Wet Noodle number 4, as the 4th head of chef of the Wet Soba, is also known. This message points to none other than the accused, Bucky Wet.
No! That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Wow, great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do? What do I do?
We want to look at these cards more? I mean, that's the only thing I think of. Let's look at this new evidence.
Would you still carry on your futile fight in the face of this irrefutable evidence? You can say whatever you want, but we won't know until we... It is cruel to give the accused false hope. You will only compound his suffering. Wise people of the courtroom, do you not agree? Okay, why is he using...
He's right. It's cruel to make him suffer when there's conclusive evidence.
What an incompetent noob. I feel bad for the victim and the defendant.
Why is Nayuta using even the gallery? Like, he...
What? But I'm trying to prove Mr. Wet's innocence here.
I know you can hear them, defense. Their voices implore you to save the accused's soul. It is time for you to let it go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. You lack the competence with which to accomplish anything meaningful here.
Is he right? Is this too much for me to handle on my own?
What good is she doing anybody? She should just quit right now. Now, defense, leave everything to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Silence.
Oh shit. I'm with you, Blackwell. We ain't gonna have this.
He's trying to use your keen sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Athena.
Oh shit! He's at the defense bench!
What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man.
You tell him, Blackwell!
Simon!
And you, fop doodles in the gallery. Can't a man watch a trial in peace? This inexperienced amateur is about to turn the trial around.
There we go, that's what we needed. Does that prosecutor really think she can turn things around? The next best thing about this is having Blackwell as your assistant.
The mood in this courtroom is starting to change.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you doing at the defense's bench?
I grew bored of watching from the gallery. Besides, if I were to leave this trial to this spring chick and lose my favorite soba shop in the process, I would be quite cross.
You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin. Truly, what a fool you are.
Well, he was a convict for a while. He's used to that.
To think you were so easily manipulated by his parlor tricks. Whatever happened to qualified incapable, Athena?
I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again.
Then gird up your loins and steel yourself for battle.
I'm not girding up anything in this skirt. And I am ready to get serious.
Nobody else will take you seriously, that's the problem.
It seems there is now yet another soul I must cast down into hell.
I was in prison for a long time. And hell sounds no worse than cell, to be honest.
Ah, but the fires of hell will not be the end of your suffering. For the sin you have just committed, you shall surely be reborn as a panda in your next life. A white and black reverse panda, that is. And you shall be put in a zoo to be exposed to public ridicule. A threat like that won't work on Prosecutor Blackwell. After all, he's already used to looking like a panda in this life.
Who are you calling a panda?
Sorry!
I see that you are both prepared to face the fires of damnation. Giru, thank you for your service. You may step down now.
Okie dokie! Bye bye balloon!
Please just go away.
Does everything have to be about balloons with her?
Yes, it does. And now we are going to stop here. We are way over time, but you know, I wanted to get through that introduction between Black Quill and Noyuta and Black Quill being in the defense bench, which that's pretty awesome to me. So let's see how these duo will end up working out this case in the next video. I'll see you guys then.
I see. Could you tell us what happened after Uendo went into the dressing room?
Certainly.
And how did Uendo act at the time?
After Wendo had been in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes, we heard a scream from inside the room, and Uendo came flying out.
Did you hear any signs of a struggle at the time?
No, just Wendo's woeful scream.
I see.
Well done, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your testimony has given us quite a glimpse into the sequence of events.
Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. And now, please allow me to summarize your testimony. While Prosecutor Blackwell and Gira were in the hallway waiting for Master Tornado, the accused came along and entered the dressing room with some items in tow. He was heard shouting for a time inside the dressing room, and about 10 minutes later he came back out of the room, seeming rather angry.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Spirit of Justice. We are in the middle of talking with Simon and his testimony about what he saw at the Rakugo Theater. So let us now begin the cross-examination. I can press things.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what did you go to the theater for in the first place?
I went because I had received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, see for yourself. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Huendo's promotion. It was also an occasion to announce the boy's succession to the stage name of Huendo II.
So what exactly does it mean to succeed to a stage name?
You really don't know, do you? In the performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits a predecessor's name.
I see. So there was another Unedo Rakugo artist before, and this disciple succeeded him, huh? Uendo?
I'm gonna say Uendo.
And what exactly did your invitation say?
It contained a simple letter of salutations and an outline of the show's program.
Oh! It appears Typhoon Tornado was going to perform Toki Soba, or Time Soba. He's famous for his masterful pantomime of eating soba using only his fan as a prop. And Uendo was to perform Sobe-se, or Soba Glutton, a soba-themed show, I see.
It seems you know a thing or two about Rakugo yourself, your baldness.
Well, someone has to know to explain the American audience, or, you know, the international audience.
The first to perform was the senior disciple, Geiru, followed by Uendo. And lastly, Master Tornado.
Thank you for the invitation.
I see. So that's why you happened to be at the Storytellers Theater yesterday. So what happened after you arrived? And how did Master Tornado appear when you said hello to him?
I went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately, we didn't actually meet.
You didn't see him? Why not?
Geiru escorted me to the dressing room. but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done.
You heard Rakugo being performed in the dressing room?
Yes, not just me, but Geiru as well.
In other words, you can confirm that the victim was still alive at around 4 p.m. Okay, but did you see him?
Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I'm sure it was Master Tornado.
Did you see him?
I could tell because it was the time soba routine being performed in there.
So that means the victim was killed sometime after that. Please tell us in detail how Mr. Wet appeared at the time.
Geiru and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Tornado to finish practicing, when Bucky appeared and entered the dressing room with his things.
What happened after that?
We heard what sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came back out of the dressing room looking rather irate.
This is most likely when the murder was committed. The victim was an elderly man. It would have been entirely possible to kill him within the span of 10 minutes. Ugh! I'd better come up with some kind of counter-argument and fast! What did you mean by apparently? Didn't you see him go in?
No, I couldn't. I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing at the time. But Geiru was right in front of it, so I'm sure she saw it all.
I see. And why do you suppose Uendo went to the dressing room anyway?
He had just finished his routine, so he was making a courtesy call. The disciples to pay their master respects right before and after each performance.
And all disciples are expected to do this?
Yes, it's common courtesy among Rakugo artists.